avocado cups. They're like I think they're guacamole, and I get them from Amazon too, and they're really good. I think they're called like guac up or something. Let's see, peach, mango, salsa. Yeah, so you could get that from in fact, this is a good idea. This is a great idea. I didn't think about doing it this way. Whole Foods has a mango salsa, which seems kind of good, right? Lola's seems expensive. But there are definitely some options there that I didn't think about. I like to keep, I mean, if I'm going to buy groceries from Amazon, it needs to be less than what I would get at the normal grocery store. Exactly. You can see definitely that it's tariff land, but it's also quantity because, like, here's a $9.99. That's a 17-ounce jar. But, and then Arizona Spice has a perfectly peach perfect salsa. It doesn't say mango, but I'm willing to guess mango is probably, but then it's also got a $7 delivery fee. So yeah, you have to be discerned about that. But as I mentioned before, if I can get it in the grocery store cheaper, like here's but this is a hot one and I wouldn't want to get anything too hot. Yeah, there's these are Sabra has a guacamole cups that are good. And I'm just looking here. Here's a pineapple salsa that's kind of interesting. It's a fruit sauce and meat tenderizer. That is a salsa with pineapples in it. Interesting. So I'm just gonna leave that there, and yeah, that's I do like that, but then again, I do kind of go crazy. And that's my biggest problem. Pineapple salsa is a wiener. I've never tried that before, so I might have to try that too. Pineapple or mango, either one. Peach, pineapple, mango, they're all really good. All right, and that's an idea. Okay, anyway, that said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Star. So I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. This boyfriend, he's the detective. Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend, you have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, the other boyfriend. Care to join? Whoa! What? Where's the objection? Okay, never mind. The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. Whoa! Can you see the game Grumps playing this part? First of all the side boob, extra boob, or whatever you want to call it, hanging out the middle there would be enough, and they would be like making their panting dog sounds in the background. You can only hear them, but yeah, yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with lunches, thanks. I have a wife. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. So it's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with that security sign. Okay. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchbox? This is by car. Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in the B block. So she was in the B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sense something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuitions at work. You sensed something? You were saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say? Oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Hola, Medicine Hat. Good morning. It is Mel Solo mostly. Chad will be in and out. He's doing a project today, so he'll come in once in a while, but it will be Mel mostly. Objections? Hold it. Wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? And good morning. How was your week, Medicine Hat? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the street. A greenhorn. So your week was good, thank you. Everything back to normal, back in school, back everything. That's kind of how it was for us this past week. It was end of quarter, end of month normal. When I have Monday off, but when I get back there on Tuesday, I know that it's just going to be slamming down and busy.
26-hour workday.
You can't do a 26-hour workday.
You'll try.
14 probably hour work days would
Maybe
be
12 at least.
12 for sure. Wouldn't be surprising.
So is that going to be Ace's new girlfriend?
No, he's not interested in her. She's kind of... Anyway, so yeah.
Around.
So like I said, mostly Mel. Chad will be in and out of the stream. A greenhorn.
Noise horn.
Then I must be hard and yellow and shark as tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Yep, all is well. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Oh, I'm supposed to be pressing things. I didn't even realize that was happening. Okay, we want to press some things. Hold on. Okay, this one we did. So this is the one we want to press. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes. Mr. Edgeworth. Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? ... Indeed, it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant? I saw her no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have the proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms, ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you are willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. If you fry like a fritter, crispy on the outside, I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch ladies, but my instincts are honed. A photograph. You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunch boxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. She's pretty biased. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this most certainly is most certainly the defendant. Crime photo has been added to the court record. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. She could see that from 30 feet away. Okay, I'm trying to look at something maybe 30 feet away, which is pretty far away. Yeah, I couldn't tell. There's a reason why objects in the mirror might be a little bit bigger, might be bigger than what we think, because our eyes don't project like size. Anyway, she's saying that the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are by nature well versed in the locations of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify to her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person. Perhaps the chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise a knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. Yay! We got this. We got this. It is where? It is here. I saw it.
Now stand aside, worthy adversary. 'Tis but a scratch. A scratch? Your arm's off. No, it isn't. Well, what's that then? Well, at worst, you liar. Come on, you pansy.
That was good. That wasn't the one I was looking for, but that one will work. Never can tell what you're going to get when you search for different things.
Just a flesh wound.
There you go. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Mrs. Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. Well, what do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For reasons, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic I think she's already said that. The basic abhorrence of crime. Okay, so we've got, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. Yeah, this has already been said. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. And then we see laid off. She was fired, okay? To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is... Okay, you may continue. So we need to do... We can't go back now? Okay, hold on. Objection. This evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are that and evidence in the statement just now related? They aren't, are they? Not at all. Mr. Wright, please take the facts over for making an accusation. Oh, no. I don't think that won any points. Yeah, we didn't. We didn't, okay? We have to do something different here. All right. So this one we're going to present... Now let's go back. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I already said, yes. Swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that's a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Oh, I didn't think about that. Edgeworth didn't either. Ahem. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection? That was that had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This photo was taken after the stabbing. Okay, so... Okay, after the stabbing, we're going to object. How can you tell that? Blood splatter. So she mentions about blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on prosecutor's coat? Not prospector, but prosecutor's coat. But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take this kind of abuse? Are you got a better idea? Objection. Wait, that contradicts what she said. She said she took the photograph the moment it happened. Namely, she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. ... That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering a jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? It was not premeditated. She would not be wearing those. If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Great. The gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. Okay, so now our testimony, the murder was planned. Rubber gloves prove it. Objection. Let's see. This is the one. They want us to do this. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Whoops. Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking it was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show her that it wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Right? We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, flawless, fatal. What do we do? Is this it? My sister's guilty. Let's just keep our heads, okay? All of that has been repeated. Somehow I knew a day like this would come. I feel like I messed up there, but okay. I was on my way to deliver, okay, when I sensed something, only detective intuition. Through the wire fence, I saw... The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. Okay, we're going to... The murder weapon, usually in Edward's toolbox. Traces of the victim's blood, but there were no prints. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edward's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there? Defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, our prosecutor's bad people. The defense has a request. Objection! AC White Raven, welcome in. Welcome back. The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana planned this murder. And that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? I can prove there's no cake because there was never any cake to begin with. I can prove I made some cake 2 days ago and there's definitely cake at my house. How's everything going for you, AC? How was your night? I just rested my hands and rewatched the playthrough of the big boss fight, and I was telling Mike that I was doing it right. I don't know where yours is. In my belly. I already did that on a clip one time. Mike and Mike Cade and Tooch said, "Where's our cake? Where's my cake?" I said, "It's in my belly." Fine. I'm going to make a cake tomorrow anyway. Interesting. And what kind of cake will you be making? Let's make sure that's off. Why would she also not prepare the most important, the murder weapon? Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Eat. Yes, thank you for being on a 35 stream streak. Eat shit, Cade. How about cake? I think Mike would prefer to have cake. But what kind of cake were you thinking about making, AC White Raven? Hey, AC, I got something for you, and I know you're going to love it. Let me go find it. Let me go find it. There we go. Look at this, AC. I found it yesterday and turned it on. It's awesome.
You don't frighten us, English pig dogs. Go and boil your bottoms. I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries. Now go away, or I shall taunt you a second time.
Isn't that nice? That's funny. That's funny. There's so many Monty Pythons in here that it makes it funny.
Hello! Can we come up and have a look? Jesus Christ! George!
Tangia is a lot of fun. All right. The knife just happened to be in the trunk of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. What? My boob just fell out of my bra. What? Order. Great. Now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. That's not as gonna work. Right? I believe the next lunchbox you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking the tide had turned. No, not really. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose they think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do, she planned on killing him. It was planned. And if it wasn't, why would she have been wearing? I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. What? Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Really now? Come on, Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor has a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I order a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. All right, what we need to do here is examine the witness. Her deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder. You've said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie. I believe what she just said was mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again, rookie. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Something's half-baked here, all right, and it's you. Try not to confuse the defense, witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Wow, didn't I just get him off for murder, Medicine Hat? It does not seem that he should be a lot more grateful. Now, why did you believe the suspect had intention to murder the victim? Her actions speak for themselves. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. How does she know this? You have no proof that Miss Skye called him there. You have no proof that she didn't. Mr. Edgeworth's thoughts? There's a record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Skye's phone. She might have written him a letter. Please come to at a certain time. I highly doubt it, but okay. Come on, you could have tried a public phone first at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness? Why do you think it was a suspect who summoned the victim that day? I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge. Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside? How am I supposed to know? See, we agree there's a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. Thank you, Wisebot, for banning provisionality, whatever. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels, don't you agree? I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. The judge isn't very good with metaphors. All right, the suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. And this is where we got her, right? Because if we go to our record, there is an autopsy report. Due to the loss, so let's enter to check it. Name of deceased is Bruce Goodman. Date of time, loss of wound. A single stab was found. A single stab. Backspace. This is what we want to present. Objection. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you with my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk! He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Spattered blood from her victim? That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you thought was blood. Testify! Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Red muffler. Well, we know if we do hold it, we might cause... Well, let's do it anyway. All right, let's do it. Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. Miss Skye was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't that odd that you mistook that for spattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. Yeah. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. actually